Why does thriving in a medical career feel harder than ever before?
I thought our focus in the department was moving away from teaching and more having to do with things like RVUs or just the money part of it. Not long after I started here, I got a summons, about being named in a malpractice suit. And it was for one encounter where I was precepting the resident clinic at the time.
Residents are told these days to be tough and they need to be more resilient. And do you agree with that?
And I would see these poor surgery residents come in and their wife and kids would be there because that was the only time they saw their dad awake.
Oh, gosh. So you don't have any regrets?
I probably regret that I felt like I always had to be here.
Yeah.
That I couldn't ever leave. I think that sometimes when I'm walking by and they have a Tesla or something out there, rather than, I said, gosh, could we do this vacation instead of this vacation? But honestly, so much of what you get when you talk to patients is how the expression on their face, their tone. Are they sad? Are they angry? There's a lot of emotional perceptions that you can get. I think when I started, success was figuring out a diagnosis. And now, to me, success is more what I get back from the family and parents.
There's like a growing skepticism towards doctors. We see like a lot in COVID and with vaccines. And how do you feel about that? Was that something that was there before?
There's some people I'm never going to convince that are very adamantly opposed unless something happens, like now there's a measles outbreak, then they get vaccinated.
What advice would you give to younger physicians or even people who are overwhelmed or they kind of want to quit? Maybe they're thinking about quitting.
Asking for help isn't giving up. It's staying in the fight. Don't always, years from now, don't necessarily remember what you told them, but they remember how you told them. I have to accept my limitations, but I also want to, strive to foster my strengths. I'll never forget as a third-year resident hearing from another resident that a first-year resident thought I was intimidating. And I thought, gosh, I never thought I was intimidating. I think I probably already said too much. But,
Good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger wind, the stronger trees.